Charts to the world of financial technology. It's called FinTech. Well, this is something new to some of us who are old enough. This is called financial technology. We're all enjoying it, aren't we? You just saw that report earlier, how much point-of-sale transactions we did last year, 1.4 trillion, and that's the product of what you call financial technology. So whether you're using ATMs, or you're doing a point-of-sale, or you're enjoying some other services electronically, that's what you call financial technology. And the man who is here this morning to speak to us is the president of the FinTech Association of Nigeria. He's also the chairman of FinTech Associates. He's the man who is being described as the FinTech envoy for Nigeria, a former president of the Chartered Institute of Bankers, who also was the head of the entire Bankers Institute for West Africa. Dr. Segun, Aina, good morning. It's good to have you here.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming. We know it's not easy to get folks like you chasing financial technology all over the place, so we appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Coming on the program. You've been called a FinTech envoy. So, take us through the basics of what you saw the global FinTech world. On Twitter, I see some folks from Canada, from elsewhere, who talk about a FinTech, and I want to dig deep into this.
Yes, thank you very much. FinTech really is derived from financial technology, as you can, imagine, and it's a new buzzword that tends to describe the financial technology and innovation as a means of delivering new ways of delivering financial services. They are called disruptors or enablers, but I want to see them as enablers, things that enable you to deliver services in a different way, in a very innovative way. So all over the world now, I mean, there are institutions called startups that are, that works in various FinTech hubs, all over the world, trying to create things, co-creating, co-working spaces, and so on and so forth. And this is what has been interesting. And in the last few years or so, about almost $20 billion have been seen as new investment into this area of business, out of which I think by 2016, Africa had about just 800 million, and Nigeria had about $200 million investment into the FinTech space. The last PwC report, for instance, predicted that over the next three to 5 years, about $150 billion is going to go into investments in FinTech. This, FinTech, innovative products, particularly startups. Startups are, individuals, young people are just trying to create things, to enable things, to be entrepreneurs, on their own. And they operate in hubs. For instance, in Nigeria today, we have probably about 25 hubs spread all over the country, mostly in Lagos and Abuja. Of course, in Africa, we are still trailing behind. South Africa is about 54 hubs, and followed by, I think, Egypt and then Kenya. But we want to see the way Nigeria is going. We see Nigeria as being second to South Africa maybe in the next 1 year. But our program, but our plan is to ensure that Nigeria becomes the African FinTech leader, to even be ahead of South Africa.
I'm interested in knowing what we're achieving. As a former president of the CIB, and I'm sure you cut your teeth through the old banking system of getting a teller and all of that before you can cash things out. So you've seen the evolution of banking and financial services in Nigeria in general, including the stock market, insurance, brokerage firms, and what have you. So you have an idea how this really works. What are some of these innovations that you've seen that Nigeria has been able to upscale, that right now we're looking at $200 million share of the global $20 billion FinTech space?
Well, like I said, when I came into the banking industry, we used to use just machines at the time, to do your business. From there, it went on to, mainframe computers, put in one big room and you punch it and you punch into it. Then it went to, desktops and so on. Today you have laptops, and everybody working in the banking industry today must be computer literate. Even the teller, the cashier, people that everybody, I mean, all of them have to use like what applies, in those days. Now the world of ATM, now online transfers in terms of transactions. So much has happened, and a lot is still going to happen through new technologies that is coming on stream. And it's not only for the banking industry, but for the entire nation. The way we live, the way we play, the way we do everything is going to change in the next few years. Look at, impact of artificial intelligence, machine learning, machine that can think like as human beings. And that's going to take over, a lot of jobs that are done today by humans. It does not mean that it will create unemployment, but it only means that people have to change their skills into new areas and move on. Artificial intelligence is going to revolutionize banking in terms of how it is done, and it's going to be even much more efficient than human beings. So we see a lot of these things happening. They've been happening in other parts of the world. But the peculiar thing about Nigeria and Africa is that while today in the developed world, new technologies and innovation are used to create more efficiencies and so on and so forth, in the developing world, new technologies are used to address real-world challenges that can, make us to leapfrog from where we are today into higher, and that is why I love.
So what would you like to see with the local fintech community in Nigeria, in which we've done $200 million, we have that share, but out of $20 billion, we should be sharing more, and you think that, look, these are the challenges, these are the key issues for the local fintech community. I think by now you know the industry a little bit well.
Yes. In fact, I think it's been a lot of development. In 2010, for instance, there were only about 4 transactions in terms of investment in the fintech world in Nigeria. By 2016, they are going to 14. We haven't seen the 2017 figures yet, but it's growing, in leaps and bounds. Just in the last 6 months or so, I'm aware of, major private equity firms that are new ones coming to Nigeria in addition to the ones that are here. I'm aware of Action Venture Lab, for instance, coming to set up shop in Nigeria. I'm aware of Above and Beyond, backed by FMO, the Dutch Development Bank, coming to Nigeria to come and invest in fintech. So it's going to increase. I'm also aware of the various government efforts towards developing this. I was with the Minister of Finance, Minister of Science and Technology the other time, last week in Abuja, and he wrote out some of the things that are. So with the working together of the private sector and public sector, we see a lot of growth in that area, which is going to generate employment, going to bring foreign direct investment. And that is why the Fintech Association of Nigeria is positioned to be the engine room to be able to achieve this. And we have quite a number of high-performing companies being part of that initiative.